Just by committee. Really, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of guys picking up his load that he's been playing, and won't be one guy.
This may sound weird, but because he lines up various different places, does it make it a little easier just because you can use D tackles, et cetera, to fill in for him?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, he did. He has lined up a bunch of spots for us, done a good job, and preferably replace him with another outside edge player to do the same jobs.
What do you know about Charles Harris?
Not a lot. Not a lot. Hoping to find out here soon.
Have you had a chance to watch him at all?
No.
What's your process when you bring in a player to kind of catch them up as quickly as you can?
Well, you got to cram, like some of us used to doing for exams, and you got to put in a lot of extra time and get him on the practice field and get him rolling and see how quickly he picks things up.
What's Teron Jackson shown you in the time you've had with him?
He's basically the same guy that left here when he came back, and he's a possibility too, for sure.
What's your level of concern overall, having lost BG?
It's part of the game, but I hate losing him for a lot of reasons. One, it might be his last year. Two, his leadership. But most importantly, he was playing really good. And, guys playing really good are hard to replace.
Did Milton Williams slide out to the edge? Does Milton Williams have that skill set to go outside?
He could. Not a steady diet, though.
You think Brandon's got another year in him?
I do. He's got to he can't retire on incomplete year. Not yet, but I will.
How has Lamar Jackson evolved throughout his career?
He's just getting better and better at everything that he was already really good at. Without getting in a long dissertation about him, I just think he's a very special player.
He's had great success against you guys, against your defenses in particular. I think his numbers are off the charts.
Well, thanks for reminding me.
Well, do you have, for lack of a better term, nightmares about him? And how aware are you of that?
Yeah, their whole offense is dynamite. They run it great. They throw it great. They got good receivers. They got the best group of receivers they've had there in a long time. Two really good tight ends. Their line is blocking good. It's no accident they have the #1 offense in the league.
When you look at Todd Monken, what is he, like you mentioned, #1 offense, what does he do that can be frustrating for defensive coordinators, or what can he do that makes him unique in that offense?
Well, he's got a lot of talent, and they run it effectively. They play pass it effectively. They drop back effectively. You got the Lamar Jackson gun run game to defend. Obviously, Henry. They got a lot of weapons and a lot of ways they can hurt you with.
With Derrick Henry, what has he done to complement Lamar? Because a lot of people looked at that before the season, didn't see him as that gun-type runner. Why do you think it's worked so well?
Well, they don't get in the gun all the time when Henry's in there. They're under center, probably more than they were last year. But Henry's done well out of the gun, too, running the ball. So everybody thought he was descending. They were wrong.
You've seen Zach Vaughn play versatile roles for you in this defense. Does Brandon's injury change anything with the way you would use Vaughn?
Not really. I don't want to, weaken another position. If you can not make too many changes for one guy missing, that's better.
Are you comfortable with Josh seeing an expanded workload, or do you worry that it could be too heavy to sweat?
No, I see his workload pretty much staying the same that it's been.
With Jay Alex, his is going to have to increase. Do you think he's ready for that?
We'll find out.
What have you seen from him behind the scenes, though, Felix?
He's been getting better. He hurt his ankle 2 weeks ago against Washington. He wasn't fully healthy last week. I mean, he's healthy enough to play, but hopefully he'll be better this week because, we'll need him to step up.
Having played a Lamar Jackson offense before, does there anything you can learn from that? I guess you saw him a couple of years ago.
They're just really good. You know, he's really good. They have a more complete offense now than they've ever had, and they've always been good on offense since he's been there. They're really good. They're really versatile. They're multiple. Their run game is multiple. The play-action game off of the run game is really good. They're good.
Do you look forward to these kind of matchups where you're facing the best? And, I mean, I'm sure you'd rather face the worst offense, but, I mean, how much do you look forward to this matchup and seeing your guys and what they can do?
Yeah, I'd rather play Swarthmore, but yeah, I mean, you look forward to it, but yeah, you look forward to it. It's a test, it's a challenge. You get all that.
Rushing numbers are up across the league. Any theories on why that is?
Well, I think I told you guys once, maybe I didn't, that my first 3 years in the NFL, 86, 87, 88, compared to the last 3 years in the NFL, 21, 22, and 23, passing has gone up 4.5%. The run game is always there.
In South Philly?
And teams are running it better. And teams are finding out the value in running the ball for, to winning. So the run game hadn't never disappeared, really. The fullback disappeared. Ironically, Baltimore has a fullback, so we'll see some two-back runs this week. But I don't think the running game has ever gone away, and there are more teams majoring in it now.
Is it because they're just more two high safety shells and you guys?
I think that's part of it. That's part of it. That's probably a little part of it.
You think you played a role in that?
I don't know.
The comment you made last year about Lamar was that the definition of a good good quarterback is there's no one way to defend him. Are there teams who try different things? What's the process like in seeing the way different teams? Defend?
Yeah, you'll watch it. Nobody's been really, really successful doing it one way. With quarterbacks like this, like I said, and I've said that many times. What you said, I said. That's the definition of good quarterbacks. There's no one way to play them.
Why Tristan over Sidney when you needed a safety?
Tristan's had the most reps. Going all the way back from training camp. Believe he's more ready to play.
Does Jalen Hurts fall into that category of no one real way to defend a quarterback like Jackson?
Yeah, I think he does.
How confident are you in Isaiah if he has to go instead of Slay?
Good. Yeah, he's done well when he's been in there this year, and would expect that to continue.
What is it about him over Keely Ringo, do you think, that lends him to?
They're close. I think Isaiah, just as, from day one of OTAs through training camp, has just covered a little bit better, but they're close.
When you see Jalen and Saquon in the backfield, you have to kind of account for both of them. I mean, do you kind of see similarities there between Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, like just how tough they are to play?
Absolutely.
Like how?
How what?
Like how are they so tough together? Those two?
Because you can hand it off to a great running back, or keep it yourself and get on the edge, or run some powers too. Anytime the quarterback can run design runs, it adds another level to an offense.
You've spoken about Nolan Smith in this setting a few times. Is this the role you expected for him this year? Has he exceeded expectations? How would you characterize that?
I didn't know what my expectations were because he really didn't play a lot last year. But I do think he's played well, and a credit to him that he's kept improving too.
Can he play more snaps?
Yeah, probably a little bit more, for sure.
Couple more?
Would Jordan Davis begin more snaps if you would move Milton to the outside?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he can organically get more snaps this week just because, there's probably a better chance we'll be playing some base defense this week.
Could Nolan work inside like Brandon did?
Probably not, on a rare occasion.
Jalen Carter was double teamed a bunch the other day. How do you feel like kind of others maybe benefited, especially Milton Williams, from the fact that he was drawing so much attention?
Yeah. You answered your question. You know, Milt was a benefit of that. And the sack that N'Kobe got at the end of the half, you know, they slid it to Jalen, and he got the backs blocked.
All right, thanks, folks.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, fellas.